my friends, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Erica, and in today's video I will be recapping for you all of the eyeshadow palettes I used throughout the month of June. I will also be popping up pictures of the looks that I created. Most of these things I did film the looks for, but there were a couple, I believe, in the month of June that I didn't film. I just, put the looks together in my free time and then pop pictures up on Instagram of the looks. Now, a lot of times I'll rank these palettes for you, but this time around, again, I just could not rank them. I just couldn't do it. I had so much fun playing with these palettes and loved the looks that I created and really enjoyed the palettes. So I thought, how am I going to rank these? I really tried, and then it was just becoming ridiculous. And I thought, just don't rank them then. Just sit down, talk about the palettes, show pictures of the looks, and get on with your life. So these are in no particular order. I just made a stack out of them, and I'm going to start showing you the palettes, popping up pictures of the looks, of course, and telling you what I thought about the palette and the look. So I'm going to scoot over a little bit so that I can pop pictures of my looks up and it doesn't look totally funky, because it does sometimes. So these are in no particular order. I'm just going to show them to you, pop pictures up, and then talk about my love for the palette and the look that I created. Okay, let's start off with the W7 My Atlantis palette. Now, this is duping a Huda Beauty palette, but it's not the Huda Beauty palette that I always think it's duping. It's the Rose Quartz that it's duping, right? And not the Naughty Nudes. I was corrected about that. This is gorgeous. I was very happy with how the look turned out. I wasn't super happy with this shimmer right here. It was kind of meh, but I topped it with this and it looked beautiful. I was very happy about it. And I have had a couple other W7 palettes in my collection that were okay, but I did end up gifting those to other folks because, I just wasn't using them a whole bunch. So honestly, I didn't have super high hopes for this palette, but I really liked it. Really liked how the look came together. More monochromatic look, but I still think it was really nice. This shade made me a little nervous. It's that oily, beady, greasy, weird shade. But I did top my lipstick with this for that look. You couldn't really tell in my camera. But I really did like how it turned out. It was really pretty. So yeah, this was really fun to play with. Very surprising. I wasn't sure, but I really like it. Then I took part in the Instagram challenge Creative Art with Heart that is hosted by Leia Evangelista. And for that particular week, we were supposed to create looks based on our alter ego. And my alter ego is Lisbeth Salander, I think is how you say her name. And she is the main character, or one of the main characters, in Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. So I went online and I found a picture of Rooney Mara, who plays her for the American version of the movie. And then Noomi Rapace, I think is how you say her name. She's the actress in the Swedish version of the movies. And I thought I would use those two pictures and base my look on that. So I went all in, baby. I did like a full cut crease and it was really fun. I love how the look turned out. For the mattes, I pulled them out of the Saints, Angels, Sinners in collaboration with Not Your Basic Steph, my best friend and sister, Steph's Pure palette. I used Rock, I used Saint, and I used Cocoa for the mattes. And man, these mattes are gorgeous. Oh, they're so beautiful and so pigmented. And I was just going to use one of the shimmers in this palette for the shimmer shade, but I ended up grabbing this beauty right here. And this was gifted to me from Charlie, Peanut Butter Beauty. And this is a loose pigment, like a multi-chrome loose pigment from Nikia Joy Cosmetics in the shade Nebula. And I had so much fun with this. It's gorgeous, and I can't wait to use it again. I made a little bit of a mess out of it because I'm not real experienced with loose pigments, and so got a little messy, but I know better now what to do the next time I play with this. And there's still quite a bit of this left. You don't need a whole lot of this. It really like smooths over your lid really nicely. Just a little bit goes a long way. And I just love it. I'm so grateful to Charlie for sending me this. I didn't film the look. I just sat down. I just wanted it quiet and I wanted to really focus on what I was doing. And didn't film it, but it was really fun to put the look together. And I love taking part in the Creative Art with Heart challenges. So fun. Then I also used the Nomad Cosmetics Fire and Ice Iceland palette for another Creative Art with Heart challenge. Didn't film this look either, because again, I wanted to really focus on what I was doing. And basically that particular challenge was recreating the spotlight person's looks. Her name's Tiffany, and she has created some absolutely beautiful looks on Instagram. Oh my gosh. And so Leia had put together like a collage of all of Tiffany's pictures, and you could just, grab one of her looks and create a look based on her look, like inspired by. And so what I did was I used these two shades in my transition area. I did a full cut, full cut crease. And then I used, let's see, this shimmer and this shimmer across the lid, I'm pretty sure. Or actually, I think I used all three of these. And I'm telling you, this palette is absolutely stunning. Absolutely freaking stunning. It's so beautiful. And I had so much fun putting that look together, and everything worked really well. It was just fun to play. And, I listened to music. It was just really nice. Really had a fun time putting that look together. Then I also used the Glam Light Kellogg's Frosted Flakes palette for a Throwback Thursday collab with Marina. We just did a Glam Light palette collab because we didn't have the same palettes from Glam Light. But this was so fun. I hadn't had this in my, I had it in my collection for longer than I probably should have, and I hadn't filmed with it yet. So I thought, okay, I'm using it for our Throwback Thursday collab. And I basically did the same thing as I had done with the Nomad palette for the Creative Art with Heart Challenge. I just flipped the color placement. So I had blues in my transition area and then oranges across my lid. And I did a full cut crease. What I wish I had done differently in that look is put this shade in the outer V. I think it would have looked better because I brought this shade all the way out. I don't know, maybe it was fine, but if I could go back in time and redo it, I would have done it that way. Put the blue in it. But anyway, I really liked how the look turned out. It was gorgeous, very different for me, and a really interesting and different color combination, not what I would normally do. And I was thinking, like, how am I going to blend orange and blue together for the mattes? I thought it would turn into a murky, muddy mess. So I just thought the cut crease idea was easier, or maybe not easier, but it just wouldn't turn the shadows really murky and muddy, because I don't know that would have looked very cute. But I had so much fun collabing with Marina, and this, I might do a multiple looks video with this too. We shall see. Then I used the Gothic palette from Cosmic Beauty, formerly Cosmic Brushes, for my Depeche Mode makeup and artist video. I just felt like this palette was perfect to create a look with and talk about Depeche Mode, because they're not really goth. They're more new wave, but kind of goth, kind of dark, kind of moody. And I just felt like this gave me the dark and moody that I wanted. And, obviously it was a monochromatic look. I mean, this is a monochromatic palette. And I didn't use like the real flippy shades in here, like this shade here or this one. I think I put that in my inner corners. And, I really love how the look turned out, but I do wish I had maybe gone a little bit more fun with the shimmers that I chose, but I didn't. I did go really fun with the lip shade. I used a multi-chrome gloss from Ladybug Glow, and that was so fun. And such a wonderful video to film. I love Depeche Mode, and like I said, I really liked how the look turned out. And then I used Goin' Coconuts from ColourPop for a Throwback Thursday video, and that was really fun. This is such an easy palette to put a look together with. It's neutral, obviously. Some might find it boring. I don't. I think it's gorgeous. I think it's got beautiful shimmers in here. I will say, however, that I've had this in my collection for a long time, and I felt like I could tell that some of the shimmers I used, a couple of the shimmers I used, they're aging a little bit. You can kind of tell. But I don't care. I really liked how the look turned out. Love having this palette in my collection. And it was just an easy video to film, easy Throwback Thursday. Done, done, but done, done, done. Then I also used the Nile palette from Rasha B Cosmetics for a Throwback Thursday. And I was not prepared for how beautiful this palette really is. Like when I first opened it, I was like, yeah, it's pretty, it's more, kind of monochromatic. There's 4 shimmers, only 1 matte, which that's not my preferred makeup of a palette. These are more satiny. These are like true shimmers. And I thought, but just try it. It's been sitting in your collection. Darcy, the brand owner of Saints, Angels, Sinners, sent this to me, and I hadn't used it yet. So I thought, okay, I'm going to use it. And I was blown away by the look that I put together, how the shades performed, just stunning, really a pretty look. And I did use a pot gel liner from Beauty Creations, like an aqua color, and that was really fun to pull in with this. And yeah, I mean, I don't know that there's a ton of stuff you can do with this palette, but I don't care. It was still really nice, really fun to play with. This shade right here called Nile though, it looks very like aqua blue in the pan and it's got a really pretty gold reflect. But on my lids, all I could really see was the gold. But then other people throughout the day were like, ooh, that shade's really pretty. It's like blue and gold. And I'm like, oh, okay, good. Other people can see it. Maybe I can't see it, but other people could. I don't know. But yeah, this was so fun. So fun to play with. I also used the Muerte palette from Melt Cosmetics for a collab with Tracy. We did a palette bingo collab with this beauty and then answered some questions. And this shade right here, Kalaka, has always been a weird shade out of this palette for me. I don't know. And I did select that for, you know, like randomly generated the shades, and this got selected and I was like, huh, crap, because for like an inner corner shade or under my brow, it's fine for that. But I'm like, okay, let's try it on the lid. Let's try it on the lid. And, you know, it starts off looking kind of chalky, but as it like warms up on my skin, it's almost like the shimmer kind of comes out. It's weird, but it looked really pretty. And the color combination that I chose, I was like, huh? Like, oh my gosh. But I really loved how the look turned out. And Tracy's look was absolutely gorgeous. And I really do want to pull this into a multiple looks video too. I don't know that I will, but I might. We shall see. Who knows? Then I also used the Unity palette from Saints, Angels, Sinners. I didn't film the look, but I just put the look together, and then I filmed a collab video with Jan and Shawnee. That was our summer themed collab. Yes. And this is absolutely gorgeous. I do want to film with this so you guys can see it in action. I used the greens and blue mattes, and then I used this purple shimmer. And I think I used both of these shimmers, right? I didn't use these two. And I just loved it. I love how like opaque and buttery and sticky the Saints, Angels, Sinners shimmer formula is. And the mattes in here blended beautifully. Just really thoroughly enjoyed myself putting the look together with it. Loved it. I also pulled in the Aurora palette from Alter Ego for a Throwback Thursday. And this palette has been in my collection for a long time, and I haven't used it nearly enough. And I created kind of like a sunset or sunrise look with it. I mean, obviously, this is very sunset, sunrise. Of course it is. And again, I don't know how different your looks are going to be with this. Well, I mean, yeah, you could. I mean, someone that has more creativity than I do could probably come up with 9 million different looks with this. But you know what? I don't care because it's a beautiful color story and it's a really nicely formulated palette. It's duping the Natasha Denona Sunrise, right? Palette, right? I think so. And I don't think that the quality is probably as good as the Natasha Denona one, but this is a lovely palette in its own right. And it really is a lovely formulated palette. I had so much fun putting the look together. Do I want to do a multiple looks video with it? Of course I do. Am I going to? I don't know yet. For my collab with Shawnee, the sweet and sour collab, I used the Menagerie Cosmetics Sugar High palette. And this is just stunning. Isn't this such a gorgeous color story? So vibrant. It's so beautiful. Shawnee had this palette, of course. I mean, we collabed using it. But she was really my muse in getting the palette because I've seen her create some just stunning looks with this palette. So I thought, I got to try Menagerie. Had never tried Menagerie before. And I had so much fun with that collab. I came up with some questions. She came up with some really fun questions. And it was just a blast. It's always such a blast to collab with Shawnee. Love doing that. I mean, I love collabing with all of my collab partners. And Shawnee's look was gorgeous. I used like the greens and yellows and blues in the palette. It was really fun. And I used a fun, I think I didn't I use a fun eyeliner color? I think so. I'm pretty sure that I did. But yeah, just so fun. And I have gotten myself several of the Menagerie Cosmetics lippies, and they're might be my favorite liquid lipstick formulation I've ever tried. Of course, I used the Rick and Morty palette from Glamlight for a collab with Tracy, Ashley, and Cheryl. We did a palette, was it palette bingo? No, was it? No, I think we just used whatever shades we wanted to out of the palette, that's right. And then answered questions. My mind is putty. It's like goo in my head, just kind of sloshing around up there. But I'm pretty sure we did answer questions, right? I love this. I had been wanting this for quite some time, and you know, then it was out of stock because it had sold out. And then as soon as it restocked, I went on to the Glamlight website and I got it. kind of a guilty pleasure purchase. I don't know. But this will definitely be coming in a multiple looks video. I have to, because I'd only use like 5 shades and I got to use all of them. But it's so lovely. Such a gorgeous palette. And, you know, Rick and Morty is not my favorite. It's okay. But the color story and the formulation is worth having in my collection. Then I took part in Leanna Dalton's Beauty and the Soul Challenge. And the whole premise of that challenge was to base a look on a color that brings you a specific emotion. And so I just kind of sat and thought about what colors make me feel what. And I really know, without a doubt, that green is my favorite color and it brings me a lot of joy. So I thought what I would do is grab 5 palettes out of my collection that are green palettes and then randomly choose 1 shade out of each palette and put an eye look together. And it was so fun to do that. I used the Dirty Martini palette from Glamlight. This is the color story. And I don't even remember what shade I chose. And then I used the Emerald Obsessions palette from Huda Beauty. And I think I chose that shade, right? That matte. Then I used the Boston Celtics palette from ColourPop. And I think I used that shade. Yes, that's the one I randomly chose. The Wealthy Chic palette from Colored Rain, which is my favorite green palette now in my collection. And this was the shade that I randomly chose. And then, of course, the BH Cosmetics Sweet Shot Pistachio palette. And I think I used this one, right? It's so weird how I vividly remember putting that look together, but don't vividly remember what shade I chose. Anyway, that was really fun, and it's inspired me to do a series on my channel that I'm going to be starting, I think, next week, called either Random 5 or Fab 5, where I choose 5 palettes at random out of my collection, and then I choose 1 shade out of each palette at random, and then put a look together. I think that'll be really fun. I also took part in Charlie's Instagram challenge, Peanut Butter Beauties challenge. It's the Singles Cruise challenge, and the idea is that you grab singles out of your collection, and then you put an eye look together based on a specific destination that Charlie has chosen. And last month was Hawaii. And so she grabs pictures from Hawaii and puts them up on Instagram. And then you can, you know, base your look on the colors that are in like the inspiration picture. So I grabbed 2 singles that I have from VIP Glitz and Glam. Find those first here. We're down here. Yes, I used this one here called Pink Sky. It is absolutely stunning. It's like blue and pink shifty stuff. It's so beautiful. This brand also just released some new singles that I really want to get. I really, really want to get. And I also used this shade right here called Pink Lemonade. And it's pink and yellow. Well, you can't see because the glare from the lights is so horrible. But the 2 of those together was absolutely stunning. And then I used mattes. Let me put this down. I used mattes out of the Certify Tropical Wonders palette. And I want to say I used pinks and blues, I think. This is so fun to have. Steph gifted this to me quite a while ago. She just wasn't really using it. And, you know, all mattes. And I use this all the time. It's so fun. It's so fun. But I felt like the shades I chose out of here and then those 2 singles really embodied the Hawaii inspo picture that I chose that Charlie put up. And I love taking part in her challenges. Oh, you know what? She has another one coming up that I got to get a look together for. I think it's Grease. Ooh, that's going to be so fun. Then I also put 4 looks together in total, but did 2 different videos with the Ladybug Glow Mysteriosa Quad throughout the month of June. This is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I love all 4 of the shades in here. Super fun to put both of those videos together. So in the first video, I used this shade here. It's like this multicolored stripy shade. So fun. And I put that with the Utopia palette from Beauty Bay. And just used a couple mattes out of here. What did I, oh, I used these 2 and this one, right? These three mattes, yeah. I'm pretty sure I did anyway. I think so. It was so fun. Loved how that look came together. And then for the second look, I used this shade here in the first video, the second look. I use this shade here. It's so beautiful. It's got that like, I don't know, silver to charcoal to black, and there's a little bit of blue hinty stuff going on in there. And for that look, I think, did I use the Certified Tropical Wonders palette again? Yes, I did. I used these two shades and then that one too, I think. Yeah, for that look. And I loved how that look turned out. Then for the second video, started off by using this shade right here. And it's like white and blue and purple variegated. Just beauty, 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 beauty. And for the mattes for that look, I pulled them out of the Zoeva Matte Spectrum palette. And I think I just used these three, pretty sure. Lovely. And Steph also gifted that to me as well. Steph spoils me rotten. She really does. And then for the final look in the second video, I use this shade right here. And it's got like silver and pink and orange mixed together. So fun. And I grabbed mattes out of the Blushing Berries palette from Dose of Colors, which is an all matte palette. I think the only one I didn't use was this one, right? I'm so sorry that I can't remember a damn thing. But this was really fun to use, finally. This was gifted to me and I just had never used it. I was going to declutter it and I decided not to do that. But this quad is just a dream to play with. So can you guys understand now why I couldn't rank these? I just used so many fun things and stuff and had such a blast putting these looks together. I thought there's no way I could rank them. And I do my random ranking series every month. Who knows, maybe next month I'll be able to rank the palettes I use throughout the month of July, but I'm not promising you anything. Let me know if you guys have any of these palettes or singles or whatnot and what you think of them. Let me know what you think of the looks that I created throughout the month of June. This is so fun. It's really fun to just take a little trip down memory lane and look at the looks that I put together or talk about the looks I put together, show you the palettes. But I just wish I could remember exactly what shades I used, but and I'm looking forward to showing you what I did throughout the month of July next month. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your lives to sit down and watch this video. If you're new here and you enjoyed what you saw, please consider subscribing, smash the like button, and of course, comment down below in the comment section. I'd love to chat with you guys there. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. I cannot wait to see you guys again in my next video. But in the meantime, please take very good care of yourself. Be well, safe, happy, and I will see you soon. Bye.
Drop it.